Okay, we want our daughters home. CAFTA, if you're not aware of it, is a federal program to give states money for foster care, but there's rules you have to follow, and Kansas has not followed them. The children must be having life-threatening child abuse, and about 90% of the children must go home. Kansas is less than 25%. Sedgwick County is less than 1%, and the judge we are in, Judge Henderson, has not sent a child home in years, but yet he fills out his accountability form. Now, I've talked to judges that were up for re-election, and they said there is at this time nobody that can look at the accountability forms for juvenile and family judges, except the federal government. That needs to be fixed, because if the accountability is going to work, somebody has to be able to look at the forms to see if judges are telling you the truth on those forms. And obviously, the juvenile and family judges are not. Now, Butler County did wrongfully remove Angel August 31st, 2010, but because Dr. Lindholm said for medical reasons she needed to come home, that court sent her home and moved to Sedgwick County, but for some reason did not send the court file to Sedgwick County. And the only thing that several of us has come up is they were worried that somebody would turn them in for violating laws. Obviously. But Youthville needs to be shut down because of how many children that have died in their custody. And that will be explained in one of my letters. But the thing is, when she came home in October, Stephanie Ulick with SRS told us we could not attend church because it might interfere with Angel and Katrina attending school, and church cannot interfere with school. We said, actually, it's the other way around. School cannot interfere with church. And in November 2010, she found out we were attending church, and she told us that she was going to take them because we were attending church. And in my complaints filed to the state and to the federal government, it states exactly what she said. And there was a DECA social worker here that heard what she said, wrote it down in shorthand, and I've asked if those notes are in records, and they said yes, they are in the SRS records, and if they have been destroyed, I have found out that would be destroying evidence, which is not uncommon here in Sedgwick County by Nola Folston, which now is ran by Mark Bennett. But Nola paid for most of his campaign, even though he was Republican. So what did he have to promise her to get that money? Because he's made no changes. He does not protect any victims. But the thing is, SRS, Sedgwick County Court, all the attorneys knew that we were homeschooling, had Christ-centered curriculum. We had filled out all the proper registration. They had copies of the receipt for the curriculum. And even the attorneys told us, you attend Bethany Lutheran Church and you keep saying you're going to homeschool with Christ-centered curriculum, your children will never come home. And they haven't. And Scott Montoya showing up August 23rd. Because we thought it had to do with Munchausen syndrome by proxy that Casey Shepard says I has, but she's not qualified. And I've got the textbook which says Munchausen by proxy. He came over, he said, no, They were removed for truancy. And I said, they can't be true because they're homeschooled. He said, they weren't homeschooled during public school. I said, no. And the evidence I told him is Katrina's IEP notes from January 13, 2011 state she's being homeschooled. Hadley Middle School stated she's being homeschooled and that the January 13th meeting was illegal. Chisholm Middle School in Newton had us sign forms for Angel to be tested and said it's because she was being homeschooled. But yet, none of the court reports stated that the children are being homeschooled, even after public schools are stating they are being homeschooled. And Newton Middle School said the worst middle school that Angel could attend, high school, is Wichita because all she'll get is life skills. From her being homeschooled, I had gotten her reading from 2nd grade to 4th grade and gotten her to be able to be very good on the computers. And one of the tests showed that she is very, very good at the computers, that most children with mental retardation score less than 20% on this test. She scored close to 90% on this test. And now she does nothing with computers. She's only doing life skills. And it's easy to see she's regressing. Plus, they're not getting any of their medication. They're not being allowed to see any of their specialists. All because my family, my 2 sisters, and my father say they don't have mitochondrial myopathy. We're not able to get the military records because they are in storage. Senator Roberts' office has given me one more address to try. But Scott Montoya had the nerve to tell me that the court has the records. They only can have those records if it was by magic or violating HIPAA, which I don't think Dr. Lindholm would make that risk. But the thing is, they need to come home now for religious reasons and medical reasons. Plus, I want to feel good about being able to attend church. I have not been able to attend church for almost 2 years because of social workers and attorneys telling me if I do, I will never ever get to see my children again. How would you like that? You go practice your faith in church, and then you're told if you keep doing it, you're not going to see your children. When are you guys going to do what's right and protect Kansas children? Special needs children are affected by what is done by these courts. I'm going to give you one quick family story. This is a military family that is currently at McConnell. Their daughter was removed 2 weeks after their dad went to Afghanistan. McConnell brought him home early in hopes that SRS would allow the child to go home. Would not allow the child to go home to the dad. But as soon as the child was in the home, McConnell gave orders to move the family onto the base because the child is not safe in the state of Kansas. And they currently have transfer orders to another state under the family is not safe in Kansas. Could this close McConnell? Could McConnell lose the new tankers because of the actions of SRS and Sedgwick County Juvenile Court? Fix what SRS has done wrong. Send the children home now.